So when we look at this angle here, this angle is in quadrant 1, so we have this y value, x value, so the point that we defines this angle that allows us to work out the angle is going to be that point there, and it's going to be defined by 0.5 over 22 up. Now that gives us definitely the shape of that, and it gives us an idea of how we can translate that to an angle. We can see the angle somewhere, somewhere maybe about 70 degrees or so. Now we can work out the hypotenuse or the radius here, and to get the other trig ratios, but really we can just use tan. So we know that tan theta is equal to slope, which is 22 over 5. Now again, I've got the ratio. Now I want to go back to find the angle. So I have to make sure I know which function I'm using. I'm going to use arctan. I'm going to undo this tan calculation. So I'm going to use arctan of 22 over 5. I need a calculator for this, because if I'm going to translate between angle and ratios, I need to use my calculator. So I go 22 divided by 5 is 4.4, and I'm going to do arctan of that. I end up with 77.20 degrees. And notice I'm using 2 decimals for this. I tend to use 2 decimals for the angles and 3 decimals for ratios. And the reason why I do this, and it's more important in grade 12, but it's a good habit to get into now so we can differentiate the numbers. So the angle's definitely, and it looks correct. Okay, my eyes don't lie, that's about 77.2 degrees. Now I could work out the hypotenuse here. And when I work out the hypotenuse, be very careful, because when we do the hypotenuse, 22 squared is 484. So 22 squared plus 5 squared. Okay, that's going to work out to 8. So it's going to be 509. And we're going to leave the radius as square root 509. Okay, we're not going to work out the decimal value for that because we don't need to. Okay, we want to try to keep it at exact values if we can. And then we could write the other ratios as well now. So I can now express my cosine. Okay, my cosine is going to be my horizontal. So I know that cosine of, I'm going to keep calling it theta, but we now figured it out, 77.20 degrees. The cosine is going to be 5 over square root 509. Okay, the sine theta, sine theta, okay, the colors right, just checking. Sine theta, we're going to use a vertical, which is 22 over the radius, which is 509. Okay, and we're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep the exact value that way. And we did work out the radius here. The radius was square root 509, and we want to keep it as square root 509. Now it's approximately 20, probably about 23, somewhere around there. Okay, but we're going to leave it like that, and we're going to avoid using the decimal here, because that's not something that we want to get in the habit of doing.